Welcome to the Acrosoft Training Video Library and are using the text editor training. Do you often wonder why formatting a web page is different than formatting a printed page, or how to use the copy and paste options in the Acrosoft Freedom Editor? Do you know when you should use a page anchor versus using multiple pages? During this training, we'll answer these questions. We'll share best practices for formatting your web pages, and we'll explain every icon in the editor and discuss the importance of styles. Acrosoft Freedom's text editor is a WYSIWYG editor, and WYSIWYG stands for What You See is What You Get. And it's a term that describes a system in which what you enter while editing is very similar to the final output on your website. Freedom's WYSIWYG editor makes it very easy to insert and format text without knowledge of HTML and CSS, allowing users to create great-looking web pages without needing a lot of technical expertise. And Freedom's text editor is an important tool used in Freedom's web pages, events, news articles, blogs, and email marketing modules. So for the purposes of this training, let's go ahead and go to the web pages module, and we're going to add a new web page. So I'm just going to give my web page a category, a link name, call it editor example, a page title, we'll call it editor example as well. And then after you set up your web page, email marketing campaign, news article, event, or blog post, you'll see the editor below. What you're seeing in the first two rows are the various editor functionalities. And what you see below that is the body of your web page, and it's where you'll create and format your text and insert links, images, and other media. So let's go through each of the buttons in the editor, and then we're going to use those buttons to create our new web page. And just as a helpful hint, you can always hover over each button in the editor, and a text bubble will pop up showing you exactly what it does. And you can also click on the blue question mark in the second row of the editor to open up our editor help documentation. The first button in the editor is the undo button, and this lets you undo the previous action that you made in the text editor. To undo additional actions, you can just click the undo button again. Next is the redo button, and this lets you redo an action that you've undone. To redo additional actions, just click the redo button again. The insert link button lets you insert links to your web pages on your site, web pages on other websites, email addresses, and other modules. The insert image icon lets you insert images into your page. When you select this button, you can choose from an image in the file manager, or you can upload a new image directly from your computer. The insert anchor button lets you insert or edit a page anchor. The insert or edit embedded media button allows you to insert Flash, Shockwave, QuickTime, Windows Media, and Real Media content into your web page, as well as raw HTML. Clicking this button brings up a new window that lets you select the type of media and file that you'd like to use. We'll get into that a little bit later. The Insert Horizontal Ruler button lets you insert a horizontal rule in your web page. The Insert Page Break lets you insert a page break. The Insert Custom Character button lets you choose from a window of custom characters to insert into your page. The Insert a New Table button allows you to insert a table into your document, making organizing and formatting text within the editor simple. When you create a table, you can enter or move text into appropriate table cells and format it as needed. The Styles drop-down list lets you select the style for text that's currently selected. And the styles that are available in the text editor are defined by your system administrator when he or she set up the style sheet for your website. Note that the way the style formats the text is defined by the style, and to change the style of text, just drag the cursor over the text to select it, and then select the appropriate style from the style drop-down list. The font family drop-down list lets you select the font for text that's currently selected. The fonts that are available in the text editor are the standard fonts that are used on typical web pages. And to change the font, just drag the cursor over the text to select it, and then select the appropriate font from the font drop-down list. The font size drop-down list lets you select the font size for text that's currently selected. And the font sizes that are available let you select the smallest setting up to the largest setting. And to change the font size, just drag the cursor over the text to select it and select the appropriate font size from the size drop-down list. The bold button makes the currently selected text bold. The italic button lets you italicize the text that's currently selected. And the underline button lets you underline text that's currently selected. The select text color icon lets you change the color of text. The select background color lets you change the background color of your text. The remove format button lets you strip out all HTML formatting from content entered into the text editor, and this enables you to easily clean up content that was copied and pasted into the text editor from another source. Note that this strips out all of the HTML, including tables, styles, and text formatting, so that the content is reduced to simple text with line breaks. The text align button lets you left, right, center, or justify your text. The ordered list button lets you automatically place the text that's currently selected into a numbered list, and the editor inserts a number at the start of each paragraph that is selected. The bulleted list button lets you automatically place the text that's currently selected into a bulleted list, and the editor inserts a bullet at the start of each paragraph that's selected. The indent button lets you indent text that's currently selected, and to indent even more, click the indent button twice. And then the outdent button lets you outdent text that's currently selected. And to outdent text even more, just click the outdent button twice. There are 3 other buttons that you should be familiar with when you're using the editor, and if we scroll down, we can see them. They're the Apply, Save, and Cancel buttons. Apply will save what you've created so far and keep you on the same page so that you can continue working. Save will save your work and return you to the main page of the module or the previous screen. And Cancel will abort any changes that you've made and return you to the previous screen or the main page of the module. Alright, so now that we've gone through each of the buttons in the text editor, let's dive a little deeper into how to use them. We're going to start with copying and pasting text. And as of Freedom's 6.6 release, the previous cut, copy, and paste buttons used in the editor have been removed, and this is due to security changes in all modern internet browsers. So to cut, copy, and paste text, you'll want to use keyboard shortcuts or right-click your mouse and choose from the pop-up menu. I've already created a document in Word, so let's open that up and we'll go through the different cut, copy, and paste options. To copy text, highlight the text and then right-click your mouse and select Copy from the pop-up window. You can also use the shortcut Control-C. To cut text, highlight it and right-click your mouse and select Cut from the pop-up menu. You can also use the shortcut Control-X. To paste text, click your mouse in the body of the editor, right-click, and select Paste from the pop-up menu, and you can also use the shortcut Control-V. Okay, so now that we've copied and pasted our text into the editor, I just want to point out that the cursor moves down 2 lines and puts a blank line between your text. And this is a default, and it'll properly space your text for paragraphs. To override this and move the cursor down only 1 line without a paragraph default break between lines of text, simply hold down your Shift key and then hit Enter. And that'll move your text down 1 line. Now, as I mentioned before, you can also undo and redo text in the editor, and this works just like the undo and redo functionalities in a word processor, letting you undo your most recent actions or bring back changes that were removed by undo. So let's enter some new text. For more information, call us at 888-965-3330. Now, if you decide you don't want to include a phone number on this page, all you need to do to remove it is click the Undo button. To bring it back again, click the Redo button, and the text that was last undone will appear. You can also change the color of text in the document by highlighting the text and clicking on the Select Text Color button, which looks like a paint dropper. When you do that, a color picker window appears, and you can select a color from the list, or you can type a color name or number into the field below the list. You can also choose from the predefined website colors at the top, which are set up to go with your design and which, like link colors, are set up by your site administrator when your site is being deployed. And we're going to talk about link colors in just a minute. These predefined colors help ensure site consistency from page to page. You can also change the background color of your text by highlighting the text, clicking the Select Background Color button, which looks like a paint bucket, and choosing a color from the color picker window. We'll choose gray here. When you do this, the text will display with the background color that you chose on the live site. Okay, so moving down the second row of the editor, let's go over the text align buttons again. The most common of all the align buttons is align left, and this will move all of your text, images, or other media to the left side of the page. And the text here is currently aligned left. If you highlight your text and click on the Align Center button, this will move all your text to the center of the page. Align Right moves everything to the right. And Align Full justifies your text. Let's set ours back to Align Left. Alright, so now that we've got our text looking good, let's learn how to make some links. Clicking on the Insert Link button brings up the link wizard, and from here you can link to other web pages and modules as well as to email addresses and other websites. So, to create a link in a document, simply type the text that you want to associate with the link and click on the Insert Link button. So we're going to first create a link to our Become a Member page, so let's type some text. First we'll highlight Click Here, then click on the Insert Link icon. Since we're linking to a web page, we want to select Web Pages from the module drop-down list. And we'll have the new page open in the same window, then click Next. And now you'll see a list of all of the web pages on your site. We want to link to the Become a Member page, so select that by clicking on it. And when you do that, the window will close and the link will be inserted. You can also link to other websites, and to do this, let's first highlight our text. I actually already have some text from what we pasted in, so I'm just going to highlight www.acrosoft.com. Then click on the Insert Link icon. This time we're going to select External Link from the module drop-down list since we're linking to another website. And when you link to a website that's not your own, we suggest having the page open in a new window so visitors aren't directed away from your site. Then click Next. Then you'll want to select the type. So for example, if your website is http://www.acrosoft.com, you want to choose HTTP for the type. Then below that, enter the URL of your website, only this time omit the HTTP since you already chose it as the type. Then click Insert Link, and your link will be inserted. Alright, so let's look at our page on our live site now, and we're going to test out our links to see if they work. So I'm going to scroll down, select Save, remembering that this will save my changes and return me to the previous screen of my module. And then I'm going to click on the Editor Example link here to open up the page in white. So if we click on the Acrosoft.com link, it opens up the Acrosoft web page in a new window, just like we told it to. And if we click on the Become a Member link, it takes us to the Become a Member page on our United We Stand site, so our links work. Okay, going back to Blue, if we edit our Editor Example page by clicking Edit under Action, you can also change the color of your link text if you want to, so let's do that. We're going to highlight the link on which we want to change the color, so let's highlight our Become a Member link. Click here. Then click on the Remove Formatting button, which is next to the paint bucket icon, and which will remove all formatting associated with the text that you highlighted. Next, click on the Styles dropdown on the left side of the toolbar and select a color for your link and make sure that you keep your text highlighted. So select your link color. And remember that the Styles dropdown box has to be set up by a site administrator in the Green Interfaces style sheet, and that this is typically done when your site is built. Then when you unselect your text, you can see that the link has changed colors. And if we save our changes and open up our page on our live site, you can see the link has been changed there too. And it takes us right to our Become a Member page, just the same way it did. We've just changed the color. Now let's learn how to insert a page anchor into our web page. And anchors allow you to link to an object on the same page, and an example is a very long page with links at the top, which you can click on and the browser will automatically scroll down to the appropriate section of the page. So let's open our Acrosoft web page in white. You can see that this page contains a lot of information and you have to scroll way down to see it all. So at the top, we have a table of contents with links to different sections of the page. If I click on Provide Dynamic Content, for example, the browser automatically scrolls me down to the appropriate section. So if we scroll back up to the top, you'll notice that the Communicate link has not been set up. And we want to do this for Communicate. So we're going to go into Blue and set up that page anchor. So let's just edit our Acrosoft web page this time. Then to insert an anchor, place the cursor where you want to link to. So we're going to scroll down to our Communicate section. And then click on the Insert Anchor button, which brings up a window asking for an anchor name. We're going to type in the word Communicate in the window here, then click Insert. And you'll see that a little anchor appears. And you'll need to remember the anchor name for the next step, which is to insert a link using the link wizard. So let's scroll back up to the top, highlight the word Communicate, click on the Insert Link button, and in this case we're going to select an internal link. Then click Next. And in the address field, we enter the # and then the exact anchor name from the first step. So capital letter and all, I'm going to enter the word Communicate. Click Insert Link. And the link has been added. And now let's save our changes again. Remembering that that will save our changes and take us back to our previous page. And click on the Acrosoft link to view the page on the live website. You can see that a link has been created for Communicate, and when I click on it, I'm taken right to the Communicate section of my page. All right, next we're going to talk about how to insert media, and we're going to start with how to insert an image, and this is one of the most popular features of the text editor. We're going to go back to our editor example page for this. And first, you want to position your cursor where you want your image to go. Then we can click on the Insert Image icon. And this opens up a new window showing you all of the pictures that you've uploaded into your file manager. From here, select the image that you want and it will be inserted into your page. I'm going to insert the image labeled Acrosoft logo, which is found in my training folder, which is set up through my file manager. And if I click on it, my image is inserted. And I can resize my photo here if I want to, but if you're using some versions of Internet Explorer or other browsers, photos may not maintain their aspect ratio, so they begin to look fuzzy. And for this reason, we strongly recommend using image editing software to resize your photos before uploading them. Image editing software is something like Photoshop, but if you don't have access to Photoshop, there are several free online sites that you can use, such as Flickr or Picasa. And you can also rearrange your photo here, just like you would do with your text. And as we already reviewed, you can change the alignment of your picture with the text align buttons in the second row of the editor. So let's right align our photo. Now, when you insert an image into the editor, you can also apply alt text to it. And an alt tag is the setting in the HTML that's used to display an image. So if an image is not found for some reason and you hover over the image location, you should be able to see the text associated with it. And basically, the use of alt tags makes your images more accessible, so we do recommend that you use them. So I'm going to show you this example with another image. Scroll down to our page. And I'm going to click on the Insert Image icon. And then in the alternate text field at the top of the screen here, enter the text that you'd like to display. I'm going to enter U.S. Capitol Building, since I'm going to insert an image of the Capitol. Then select the image that you want to insert. And now, when you hover your mouse over the image, the alt text will appear. Now, while we're on the subject of media, you can also insert other media, such as videos, into the editor. So to do this, let's move our text down some. I want to insert my video at the top of my page. And you can click on the icon that looks like a film strip. My movie is in Flash format, so I'll choose that for the type, but you see that you have several other options, such as QuickTime, Shockwave, Windows Media, Real Media, or other, such as Raw HTML. Again, I'm going to choose Flash. And now I want to enter the location or the path to my file. My file is in my File Manager, so I'm going to enter Client Uploads / movie.swf. Client Uploads is where my file is located in my File Manager, and movie.swf is the title of my file. Then we'll set our dimensions to 200 by 200. And you can see that I have a little preview of my video here. And then I'm just going to click Insert. And that's where my video will appear. And if we scroll down and select Save again, we can open up our page on the live site. And there's my video. And if you have questions about Flash files or inserting media or inserting other types of files, please do contact Acrosoft support. And we're getting ready to wrap up, but before we do, I would just like to talk about tables. And tables make it easy to organize information in rows, and creating a table in the text editor is just like creating a table in most word processors. So let's go back to our Web Pages module. And let's create a new web page. We'll call it Main Category. We'll just call this Training Example for both the link name and the page title. And then I'm going to place my cursor in the body section of the page and click on the Insert a New Table icon. This brings up a box that allows you to set the parameters of the table. So for example, how many columns and rows the table has. We'll leave this set at 2 rows and 2 columns. And we'll make the border 1 pixel. I'm going to enter 200 in my width and height fields. And then click Insert. As you can see, the table has been created. And now you could place your cursor in any of the cells and enter text. Or you could enter graphics by clicking your cursor in the cell and selecting an image from the File Manager. just like that. And the table resizes for the content that you're entering. Or you could enter anything else that you'd put on a page. And before we conclude today, I just want to emphasize the importance of styles when it comes to the editor. Styles are configured in the green interface by your website administrator, and they define the layouts of your website's pages, including fonts, colors, margins, lines, height, width, background images, advanced positions, and many other things. You can select a style from the Styles drop-down list, just like we did with the link colors. And the style will be applied to that page or email campaign. Again, styles prevent variations in website appearance from page to page, and so we strongly recommend that you use them whenever possible when formatting text or other media in the editor. And that concludes our editor training. For more training courses, you can visit www.acrosoft.com/training courses. You can also visit our training video library. And for more information on Acrosoft Freedom, you can visit www.acrosoft.com or call 888-965-3330.